fire had fallen. The skies over Sodom and Gomorrah no longer held the sun, but smoke, thick, black, rising like a funeral banner over the ruins of a once thriving land. Lot, the nephew of Abraham, had been spared the judgment, but at a great cost. His wife, unable to resist looking back at the life she was leaving behind, had turned into a pillar of salt. The cities were gone. The cries of the condemned still echoed in the memories of the two daughters who fled with their father. They did not settle in Zoar as originally planned. Fear drove them further into the wilderness, up into the caves of the mountains, where silence reigned, and memory lingered. The daughters, isolated from the rest of humanity, began to fear they were the last women on earth. They saw no other men, no tribe, no kin, no path forward. Despair twisted into desperation, and desperation, when left unchecked, can become justification. The elder daughter proposed what the scriptures record with solemn simplicity. "Let us make our father drink wine, and we will lie with him, that we may preserve our family line through our father." And so they did. Night fell over the mountain, and wine numbed Lot's mind. He was unaware when the elder daughter crept in. She lay with him, and by morning, no sign remained, only the heaviness of the unspoken. The next night, it was the younger daughter's turn. Again, Lot drank, again he lay unaware, and again a seed was planted in silence. In time, both daughters were found with child. The elder bore a son and named him Moab. The younger bore a son and named him Ben-Ammi. The name meant son of my people, a quiet admission of the origin, a coded legacy of survival amidst ruin. Ben-Ammi grew up not in the lush cities of the plain, but in the rugged terrain east of the Jordan, among wild hills and open lands. His mother raised him with fierce protectiveness, perhaps shielding him from the weight of his birth story. But stories have a way of following blood. In time, Ben-Ammi gathered people, whether other survivors, nomads, or offspring of Lot's household, and he became the father of a tribe. That tribe took on his name: the Ammonites. They settled in the region that would bear their legacy for generations. They built cities, created their own traditions, and established their own worship, eventually turning their devotion to Molech, a god to whom children were sacrificed by fire. The echo of destruction followed them, as though the smoke of Sodom still lingered in their collective memory. The Ammonites lived near the descendants of Abraham. Their bloodlines were linked, but their hearts were often divided. Conflict flared between the Israelites and the Ammonites throughout the centuries. Sometimes there was war. Sometimes uneasy peace. But always, the reminder that even among enemies, there were distant ties. Ben-Ammi himself fades quickly from the written text. The scripture tells little more than his name and his role as founder. But behind that name is a boy born in the shadow of catastrophe. A boy whose life, though marked by secrecy and sorrow, gave rise to an entire nation. He was not the chosen seed, not the line of promise, but he was remembered. And memory, in the biblical world, meant legacy. He stands as a reminder of what desperation can birth. His people would later resist Israel, even curse them. But God told Moses, generations later, not to harass or provoke the Ammonites. They were, after all, the children of Lot. Ben-Ammi's story is short, but it rests on deep ground. His birth came from trauma, from the loneliness of a cave and the terror of extinction. He was not born of love or joy, but of survival. Still, he grew. Still, he led. Still, he became a father to thousands. And so his name endures, not just as a fact in Scripture, but as a quiet testimony. That from the ashes of judgment, even flawed beginnings can shape the future. that even a child born from silence and sorrow can grow into a nation whose name history cannot forget.